Look down at your feet. You are walking on the beach, the sand is wet, and the ocean waves are doing what they always do, rolling in and rolling out. Now, imagine if the water suddenly turned around and started sprinting away from you. It looks like someone pulled a giant plug out of the bottom of a bathtub. In just a couple of minutes, the water is gone, miles away. You are left standing in a quiet, spooky wasteland filled with flopping fish, old boat wrecks, and muddy seafloors that haven't seen the sun in 100 years. Your first thought might be to walk out there and grab some cool shells. But that thought is a trap. You are standing right in front of nature's biggest magic trick, and it is about to turn deadly. Why does the water run away like that? It all starts with a massive earthquake or a giant landslide miles out in the deep ocean. Think of it like throwing a punch. Before you hit something with all your strength, you don't just push your hand forward from your chest. You pull your fist all the way back to get power. The ocean does the exact same thing. When the earth shifts down below, it creates a massive ripple. As that ripple gets closer to the shallow beach, it needs to gather up as much water as possible to build a giant wall. It steals that water directly from the shore. The ocean is just winding up its fist. Because humans are curious, our natural reaction is to walk out into the mud. We want to see the things that are usually hidden under 20 feet of water. People walk out with their phones, taking videos of the strange, empty beach, laughing and collecting treasures. But the clock is ticking down fast. That water didn't go away to take a break. It is moving out there in the deep, getting taller and heavier every second. By the time you notice the water coming back, it will be moving as fast as a car on the highway. You cannot outrun it. If you are standing out there on that dry seafloor, you won't hear a normal splashing sound. You will hear a deep, heavy roar that shakes the ground under your sneakers. It sounds like a freight train barreling down the tracks right into your living room, or a loud rumble of thunder that never stops. This is the sound of millions of tons of water scraping against the rocks and sand as it rushes back toward the land. When that rumble gets loud enough for you to hear, the water is already on its way. You have seconds, not minutes, to get to higher ground. A lot of people think a big wave is just like a normal wave, only taller. But this is different. It acts like a massive, endless flood. Imagine turning on a giant garden hose and blasting a sandcastle. The water knocks it down instantly and keeps flowing over it. Because this wave has the weight of the whole ocean behind it, it treats cars like plastic toys and smashes strong buildings like they are made of cardboard blocks. When someone tells you to get to high ground, they mean you need to find a big hill or a very tall concrete building. You have to get completely out of the water's path. The scariest part is how peaceful it can feel right before the disaster. The water leaves quietly. There are no flashing lights, no big alarms from the sky, and the weather might even be sunny and beautiful. People stay on the beach because they think the tide is just acting a bit weird today, or maybe the wind is blowing the water out. But the ocean follows strict rules. If the water vanishes out of nowhere, the rules are broken. It is a giant warning sign flashing right in front of your eyes, even if everything else seems quiet. Even if you manage to climb up something high and survive the first big rush of water, you are not safe yet. After the ocean slams into the land, it has to rush back out into the deep sea. When it pulls back, it acts like a giant vacuum cleaner. It sucks up everything it smashed, broken wood, cars, trees, and anything else in its way, and drags it all deep into the ocean. This pulling force is just as dangerous as the first crash. The beach you knew will be completely gone, covered in mud and ruins. You have to stay exactly where you are, high up on safe ground, because the ocean often sends 3 or 4 waves over the next few hours. To survive this, you have to turn off your curiosity. You have to look at the flopping fish and the shiny shells and decide they don't matter. The second you see that water starting to slide away from the beach, your legs need to start running the other way. Don't wait to see what happens next. Don't look around to see if other people are running. You just go. In a moment like this, being too curious will get you caught. And there are no second chances. This has happened many times before in history. Long ago, entire villages would gather on the dry sand to look at the strange empty ocean, wondering where the water went. A few minutes later, the village was gone. The only people who ever survived were the ones who saw the water move, got scared, and ran up the nearest mountain without looking back. They didn't know the science, but they knew that when the ocean leaves the beach in a huge hurry, it is a bad sign. The ocean is much bigger and stronger than anything humans can build. When it pulls away from the coast, it is actually giving you a small gift, a head start. It is a giant sign from nature telling you to pack up and leave immediately. If you listen to that sign and run for your life, you will live to tell your friends about the craziest thing you ever saw the ocean do. Think about the weight of what is coming for you. A single cubic meter of water weighs about a ton. When the ocean hits, you have thousands of tons of pressure slamming against every inch of the coastline. This is why even concrete walls fail. The water pries. It finds the tiny cracks in foundations and pulls them apart. If you are standing in a house near the water, that home is a death trap. Your only protection is elevation and distance. When the ground beneath you starts to shake or the water retreats, stop thinking about your belongings and start thinking about your height. Another thing that often fools people is the appearance of the water. Sometimes, as the wave approaches, it turns a muddy brown or a sickly gray because it has ripped up everything from the seafloor. This is a slurry of rocks, metal, and debris. This mix acts like giant sandpaper, grinding away anything it touches. If you are caught in the flow, you are being battered by flying debris that can break bones before you even know it hit you. Don't wait for the water to look scary or dark. If it is acting wrong, treat it as lethal. You also need to understand that the ocean is not a singular event. Most people assume there is one big wave and then everything settles down. Reality is much more frustrating. Tsunami energy bounces around the ocean like a ball in a pinball machine. Waves reflect off islands, underwater mountains, or even distant coastlines, coming back to hit the same spot multiple times from different angles. You might wait an hour thinking the danger has passed, only for a secondary pulse to arrive with even more force. Never assume it is safe to return just because the water has stopped moving for a while. A hidden danger that most people never consider is how the land changes. When the water rushes inland, it follows the path of least resistance. It turns roads into rivers, floods underground tunnels, and turns low-lying valleys into death zones. If you are running, you must avoid low points. Don't try to cross a valley or a canal. The water will arrive there long before it arrives at higher, flatter ground. Always look for the highest, sturdiest point you can reach and stay there until official word comes that the danger has passed. Finally, consider the crowd. In these moments, you will see people acting in ways that make no sense. You will see people freezing in shock, people trying to record the event for social media, or people running back to get their cars. Do not follow the crowd. The herd mentality is a killer here. If you see someone walking toward the beach because it looks cool, be the person who breaks the cycle. Turn your back, ignore the noise, and head for high ground. Your decision to run might be the only thing that alerts others around you that it is time to move. Be the one who survives by trusting your gut over your social instincts. Nature holds all the secrets to our survival, and knowing them might just save your life. If you want to keep unraveling the mysteries of the planet before the next tide rolls in, hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Let's keep our eyes open together.